So Vibhuti, today the peace accord has been signed. You know,
Peace accord has been signed. Hamas rockets are over. इसराइल ने ठोक दी उनकी. अब चलो 10 दिन के लिए फिर बैठो. This has been the history of that area.
नहीं,
Anyway.
बट आपको क्या लगता है कि ये जो है डेली जो हम लोग का डिस्कशन होता है, डेली जो पीस प्रोसेस, और मेरे हिसाब से इजराइल के पास ये मिसाइल्स खत्म हो गई थी, तो इन्होंने, आई थिंक यूएस ने ब्लैकमेल भी किया कि आपको मिसाइल्स नहीं देंगे, और अगर मिसाइल्स नहीं देंगे तो लड़ेंगे कैसे। तो आयरन डोम की सारी मिसाइल्स खत्म हो गई वहां पे।
Correct.
तो इसका मतलब आयरन डोम जो है अमेरिका पे डिपेंडेंट है पूरा।
Look, इंटरडिपेंडेंसी तो होता ही है. जैसे कोविड का था, रॉ मटेरियल फाइजर को इंडिया से आता था, इंडिया को रॉ मटेरियल यहाँ से जाता था. तो we are living in a world of interdependence right now. But more importantly, वो तो ठीक है, ये तो expected था. Like, थोड़ी सी वो, somebody had made a very nice statement. Oh, you're our common friend, Avijit Iyer Mitra had said that, and we must, attribute that quote to him. He said, वो जो वहाँ है ना, प्रेशर कुकर का प्रेशर निकालने के लिए you have to have 4 साल तक नहीं लड़ाई हुई थी यार. So, you have to, there was a lot of pent up feeling. So निकलना था. But there was somebody made a very nice statement today. Israelis fight very dirty war. They hit you hard. Because they know, I mean, this is somebody with the first-hand basis, they hit you hard because they know they have very few options. वो जो है वो सांप को हमारे जैसे नहीं होते हैं, चल आज चला जा फिर कल आना देखेंगे फिर.
हाँ, वो इंडिया पाकिस्तान.
Yeah, there is no compassion there. If this is it is interesting to know, and that's why I always say that we are a country of 1.3 billion people, right? We are a country of 1.3 billion people, and Pakistan is a pain for us. Sri Lanka is a pain for us. Bangladesh is a pain for us. Nepal is a pain for us. And here is a country which is as big as Kerala or Barmer district of
अरे
Rajasthan.
नहीं, केरला के केरला का भी आधा का भी छोटा है वो.
हाँ, मैं एक बात बता रहा हूँ. Barmer district of Rajasthan is as big as Israel. But look at, surrounded by enemies, no diplomatic relation. सबके लिए रखा है, पर लेकिन वहाँ पे it has a friendship. It's not a non-aligned country. It is an aligned country with America. So there it is, the advantage. But equally important was, आपने देखा कि नहीं देखा वो video that was shown in the National Parliament in Pakistan. A big woman was giving call for jihad for Pakistani army to fight in Palestine. उसका सारा speech बेकार हो गया था.
ये सारे वो उसके जनरल सोच रहे होंगे सारे के सारे कि मेरे घरों का क्या होगा जो फॉरेन कंट्रीज में. पाकिस्तान एक कॉमेडियन देश है, लेकिन मतलब 10 दिन में इजराइल की मिसाइलें खत्म हो गई. मतलब अगर उनके ऊपर 10 कंट्री और अटैक करती तो मिसाइल फिर क्या होता है इंडिया इजराइल का.
That's why they were banking upon the US support, ना.
बैंक और वहीं पे उसका आर्म ट्विस्ट हो गया.
एक बात और भी, आप देखिए सारे के सारी लड़ाइयां इजराइल ऐसे करता है कि they know that their resources are there for 10 days. वो 10 दिन में इतनी ले लो कि उसको जो है 11वें दिन की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. So hit the enemy so hard that he says, okay, my बाप अब छोड़ दो. It's a sad thing. I mean, I'm laughing because of the stupidity of it all. You can't have, I mean, it angers you. I'm laughing in anger. And what humanity has become. That we are killing innocent people in the name of what? Live and let live? I mean, you can't have that kind of an agreement.
See, the whole thing is the hatred of Israel is so high. And the thing is, I must tell you that even though I was very angry that Indian government never spoke about it, but I was very angry on that. But I can tell you one thing, that Indian government must have seen something else coming over there. See, the politics in the American and Russian and Chinese levels is very dirty. International politics is very dirty. India somehow is not prepared for anything like that. I'm telling you, Indian
Yes.
intelligence agencies, everything is like a banana agencies. I can tell you very boldly, because these agencies do not know how to interact internationally. They're still working in the colonial mindset where they're just trying to protect what they have. They have no international experience, and they cannot move only when their shit is to their wall. That time they start acting. Like, for example, in the case of China, they were begging in front of his country, which is the half the size of Kerala, or not even that, less than half the size of Kerala. And they're asking Israel to produce weapons for them. Now, Israel has made spice bombs and whatever spice they call it, masala bomb, whatever they call it. Now, I'm telling you, why a country of 1.3 billion people can't manufacture a technology which they can use? And it,
There is a very simple reason for that, because everything is in government control.
no,
See,
you and
whether
I
it
can
is
talk, you and I can talk about government control, this control, that control. At the end of the day, a country of 1.3 billion people has to beg to Israel to sell them few things.
but again, the begging was by the government, because the government controls. Look at it this way: we nationalize all the key sectors, the commanding heights of the economy. We did not trust private sector. In Israel and America, they have prospered because of private sector, because you trust in the private sector. All the defense equipments, whether F-16s or everything else, is made in private sector. In
Like eh,
India, we had a faulty system.
the Americans have praised Indian fighter jet Tejas.
Right.
Indian tanks Arjun has fared better than T-90s. And I can tell you the Western philosophy of armaments is very similar to the Indian core designs. I can tell you how the Western countries prefer a heavier tank, and the Indian tank Arjun, which they have produced, is a heavier tank. And you cannot fight a long-term war on foreign weapons. This is what conflict in Israel has shown me. This is what lessons I've learned. That I do not know who is right or wrong, because the Hamas is definitely wrong to hit the civilian targets, and Israel has a right to defend itself. I've always stood by Israel for one reason only, that it has never been the aggressor,
Right.
never. So just like India, in that's the only way we are similar. Even though the Jewish pastors, I know they hate Hinduism for the core of their heart.
Right.
That I know for sure, because I have been in that position where I participate in interfaith dialogues. They have very clear cut question to you: what right do idolaters have to? Because idolaters are condemned in both Christianity,
And
Islam, and
all
Judaism.
the three Abrahamic faiths, they
All
don't
three
like
Abrahamic
that.
faiths. So they don't like us, but we like the Israel's political response to terrorism, because they were working on the last man. God forbid, Krishna forbid, that Hindus are also in the same position in India.
It is going to come. That's why I did a show today, in which I personally believe that, you brought about that subject matter, that Hindus are facing an existential threat. This is based on my one of the articles. This thought triggered in me 5 years ago, when one of the major journalists of India, who wrote an article that Bhutto's 1,000-year war has another 950 years to go, and I responded to him because I know him, and I said, no, you are wrong. Islam has won its first 1,000-year war with India, because two countries were created. Forget about Afghanistan. We have completely let go of the Mahabharat Gandhar nation, right? We have let go of that completely. But Pakistan and Bangladesh were created recently, right? They already won. They created two Islamic republics. And they want to create more Islamic republics, because under the category of democratic aspiration of people. That's a very dangerous word. See, your enemy has picked on your tools to screw you. And we have no answer for that. That's the important part to be bearing in mind, that this is what eventually is going to happen. And they have, if any, whether it's Owaisi or Junagadh or someplace, Bhiwandi, if anybody declares the Islamic Republic of Bhiwandi, there will be 52 Islamic countries to recognize it instantly. Think about it from that point of view. Hindus are faced. So I told him, that India has lost, Hindus have lost, and we have to make sure that we don't lose again. But the writing is on the wall, Aditya. Writing is on the wall because the banner is democratic aspirations. And why? That's the reason you are seeing Modi being attacked at his Hindutva guy. You look at it this way, everything attack on Hinduism is the Muslim minorities are being maltreated by the most peace-loving community. So that's the sad part. We have to be careful about that.
The Bengal violence. Now, one thing is there, and I do not know what is going behind the scenes because I have no visibility into that.
Right.
But one thing is there for sure: Bengal violence, when the Modi or anyone else did not speak, it went a wrong way amongst most Hindus that they are at the mercy. Nobody came out for their protection.
Right.
There were one or two national level of mass demonstrations by BJP, but
But that
nobody
was
heard it.
dharna. That was dharna.
Dharna.
I tweeted. I mean, what kind of a thing is dharna a dharma? Is dharna your dharma? Is that what dharmic war is all about? Doing a dharna in your home? I mean,
So
that was such a ridiculous response that we had. I totally agree with you. I totally understand Modi's pain about Hindu killings in Bengal. I totally understand that, but you have to say, you have to
now,
let the world know that this will not be allowed to happen. We will step in. You are letting history repeat itself.
do you think that the state governments in India are completely incapable or insensitive to the law and order in India? Do you think the entire police forces in India need to be nationalized? Because the police, if it is free from any political overture, any type of political overture, the then only there can be respect of law in India.
Right.
But if the police like in Bengal, the police itself is accused right now in Bengal police, turning a blind eye. And so do you think that that's the only solution? Because I don't see any other solution right now.
You have a very critical situation, because Hindus don't fight back, because Hindus are not kind of a warriors of the old variety of Maharana Pratap and Prithviraj Chauhan variety. We have no idea. We are suffering. And there is something which a friend of mine, Muslim friend of mine, in the absence of everything else, without disclosing a name, Javed Bhai told me, Jha Sahab, चाहे वो आदित्य सत्संगी हो, विभूति हो, मुरलीधर हो, मुथु कुमार हो, मनविंदर सिंह हो, मिश्रा हो, ठाकुर हो, आप सब इलेक्शन लड़ोगे, आपको हमारे वोट की जरूरत है, आप सातों लोग एक से एक बढ़ के हमें कंसेशन देंगे, हम वो कंसेशन लेंगे, सरकार आपकी होगी, चलाएंगे हम. That's the situation in India's states when you talked about that. Politics is local. अब देखिए ना, अभी लिस्ट जो निकली थी, the list of TMC MLAs, how many were Muslims?
98.
Exactly. So you have already ceded the state to them, and particularly from a community that is belligerent. I mean, today they are using they are using the democratic tools to take your life.
Take state resources they are using. They're using
Yes.
state resources paid by the
Yes.
state and the
Yes.
state taxes they are using,
Correct.
and to destroy you. Like,
Destroy you.
and so
It is a very tricky situation in India right now, and that's the problem one has to deal with. There
and
is
that's
no
happening in
other.
the Modi government. Don't believe that.
वो तो होना था. I'll tell you why. Because when he came to power, I was told by somebody in Mumbai, अब देखिए खेल क्या होता है, इंडिया को फिर से तोड़ेंगे. ये तो बहुत शरीफ लोग कह रहे हैं साहब. जो जिसने मुझे ये कहा, ये बात कही, वो बहुत शरीफ इंसान है, समाज में बहुत उनका वो है, नाम है, लेकिन वो कहता है कि आपका जो करना हो करो, मोदी जी आए तो एक बहाना मिल गया, अब देश को तोड़ते हैं. एक बार तोड़ा था, अभी फिर तोड़ेंगे. And they will use the tools of democracy, of democratic aspiration. Can anybody argue with that?
Can they be disenfranchised?
That's a tough question to ask. What has to happen here is, I'll tell you what. You have APJ Abdul Kamal, you have Kalam, you have Hawaldar Abdul Hamid, you have Aslam Sher Khan, you have the governor of Kerala. There are people who are there, Air Chief Marshal Latif. There are people who have prospered. But the sad part is those people are not part of the process, of the political process. On the contrary, we have idiots like Salman, Hamid, these people who are abusing us Hindus, left, right, and center.
It's a very
So
grim scenario. Very,
it
very
is a
grim
grim
scenario.
scenario. That's why I
Very
said. That's why I said that it's not that 1.3 billion Hindus will vaporize tomorrow, but the existential threat is real because there is no Sindhi in Sindh anymore. There is no Mahabharat Gandhar in Gandhar anymore. There is no Indus Valley civilization anymore. The Bay of Bengal, the Bengal tigers are already gone, right? The Northeast is already converted to Christianity. The Kerala has become what it has. केरला में मुझे एक ड्राइवर ने कहा था जो मुझे घुमा रहा था वहां पे, उसका नाम था विनोद. He told me, he first thought that I was a Muslim, so he was scared. He says, साहब यहाँ पे एक तो इनका, when he got convinced that I was not what he was fearing, then he said, हमारी population यहाँ ज़्यादा है, we are more people, but those two groups are united कि इनको नहीं आने देंगे हम. They are united. The purpose is very, like you said, the Abrahamic religion fears us. I say this very differently. I say that they fear us. It's not Hinduphobia, but it is fear of the fact that these jokers are actually based on science and scientific developments in the world. That's the reason you are seeing many people in Christianity are giving up religion. Churches are closing down. The Muslims are becoming ex-Muslims. The reason is very simple. आज गॉड का बखान कौन करता है साहब? जितने सारे गॉडमैन जो थे मिरेकल करने वाले कहाँ हैं? कोई नहीं कोविड को हटा सका, right? They have gone back perhaps to Hogwarts School of Magic to learn new magic tricks to show that how God can make your life better. Hey, there is no heaven and hell. It's right here. God has taught us a lesson that COVID is teaching you the life to hell. This is what it is, right?
So
How does the Muslim and Christian issue a passport and a visa to go to heaven and hell when nobody has known where it is?
So the concept of majority and minority in India has been politicized to a large extent,
Right.
and a huge mandate given to Modi government is getting wasted all the time.
Yes, it is.
It is getting wasted all the time, and so nothing is coming out. So do you think that Modi may have to resign?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
ये हमारी, this is the weakness that we Hindus have.
Mhm.
We know what is Modi's greatest good to India? Not the hundreds of things that he has done, not 370. At least he has, हिंदुओं के जो हमारे मुंह पे ताला लगा हुआ था ना,
See,
वो
in
खुल गया है. No, it's important, आदित्य जी, वो मुंह खुल गया. आज हम 7 साल में उनसे नाराज हो गए, right? 7 साल में एक हरकत वेस्ट बंगाल में हम उनसे नाराज हो गए. 370 वगैरह वगैरह जितने लोगों ने किया उन्होंने काम, everything is gone to waste. But 70 साल से हम कांग्रेस की नालायकी सह रहे थे, उस वक्त मुंह में क्या हुआ था हमें? So it's very easy for us to ask Modi must resign. It's an easy thing to say, but that is also motivated. I'm saying that all Hindus here, कहाँ गई थी हमारी मर्दानगी? 70 साल से हम बिल्कुल पालतू जैसे कि हमने सहा सारा कुछ अत्याचार उनका, हमारी नैरेटिव बदल गई. और आज एक बार बंगाल में मोदी जी नहीं बोले तो आप उस पर इतने नाराज हो गए. So Modi
it's a foolish idea. It's a foolish idea. I agree with
It's a
you.
foolish idea, totally.
Yeah,
And I blame
because
I blame your friend and my acquaintance Subramanian Swami for that. I don't understand that man at all. I mean, you are 75 plus. Give wisdom. Don't make kataksh or vyang. उसका समय जा चुका है आपके लिए. अब आप मिनिस्टर नहीं बनने वाले हैं. Because there is a medal you wear of bringing down the Vajpayee government that nobody will forget ever. So you better atone yourself by earning a good karma. I convey that message, my message to him. He knows me. He knows me, and he was the one in New York. He told me, "Oh, yeah, your brother is a Congress guy, but my brother is also a Congress guy. We are all the same boat." In New York, in Long Island, he said that. So I have greeted him. We have had a good show in Long Island here on Hindu Unity Day. So I respect him, but I am disappointed with him because now he is making व्यंग on Modi. आ गए ना अपने असली रूप पे आप किसका भला कर रहे हैं आप
See, we all know the toolkit and all that, how this is a big conspiracy to move Hindu voters against Modi.
Yes.
And we all know it has been exposed very much.
Mhm.
And we also know that there might be some serious or something. We don't know what is going on, but we can speculate a little bit. But the bigger challenge for India as a country is the flip flops on Biden policies also. So just now Biden started Israel Palestine equity, like changing. I'm changing the topic now. There can be a new political framework coming, in my view, between Pakistan and India balancing act, because America wants Pakistan back away from China, which is not going to happen because Pakistanis are sold,
Aditya, you are absolutely right. Keeping the time factor into account, you are absolutely right. Pakistan knows how to play the two big powers, China and America, against each other
against each other.
and becomes the concubine in between.
Right.
Who she spends the night with is what the quarrel is all about.
Exactly. And that is a bigger challenge coming on board. And I also must say, like I've written a lot on politics in my books. So the politics changes every night, and every morning is a new day in politics.
Right.
So whatever you do, like I will say Ronald Reagan, President Trump, Obama, Clinton, every day when you're elected a leader of a nation, every day is a new day. What you
Yes.
did yesterday is gone. Nobody talks about it. And all the media forgets about it, and everything is on because you already, being in the position, you already got the rewards for it.
Right.
You were 2 years in power. So that's the way politics works. And I can tell you, in last 100 days of Biden administration, not a single day has gone away without a controversy.
Yes.
Not a single day. Whether it's a Israel Palestine thing, the arm twisting of Israel on Iron Dome missiles, which is an American missiles they're using, AIM 120, and same is with now, just now, $600 million. The damage to Gaza City has been, I don't know, what for $600 million. I don't know, there was just few homes.
Right.
And in Palestine, $600 million. So $750 million to Israel, $600 million to them, $1.3 billion from taxpayers.
Right.
Are we fools?
We are. We are being taken for granted. That's the important part. Bear in mind, nobody is asking that kind of a question. It is a really sad situation as the way things are being done. And I was yesterday in a conversation, and you talked about India's role. We are become totally important in the world politics. आप ये सोच लीजिए कि US is going to withdraw from Afghanistan, and do you know, and I'm sure you know, I shouldn't be asking, do you know, that India is not part of the deal is so sad. We have invested so much money. India has invested so much money in Afghanistan, and India is not part of the deal. We don't want to be part of the deal. We don't know how to be part of the deal. And Pakistan is going to play a proxy war, being a part of there, using China as a buffer to attack us. A permanent pain. The destruction of India, of Hindus, is a game that is on. मुझे तो लगता है ना कि sometimes, you have a big table, wartime table in the general's room, war room. They have all the factors already factored in, and they use one thing against the other whenever the time permits. So casting is over. So now the Times of India news, The propaganda was what? That India supplied vaccines to foreign countries. The Congress Party campaign was what? दूसरों को दे दिया, अपने लिए नहीं है वैक्सीन. और आज जब इंडिया ने बंद कर दिया तो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में आर्टिकल क्या है? The poor nations are going to suffer because India is no longer supplying vaccines. आप देख रहे हैं इस बात को? So how to twist a news in a particular way, we have no way to address that issue.
See, again, it's a weak governance. Again, I tell you one thing, and democracy is demon crazy. I never believed in democracy, but I do believe in loktantra. Democracy itself needs reformation because people are using democracy to control the state resources. So America wanted democracy so that they could control other countries' resources. Other countries have used democracy to use American resources. And so it has backfired. It's a boomerang on Americans in a big
There is
way.
a very nice statement which I shared with others, and I'm sharing with you and your audience, our audience today. Academicians have a way to describe governance, either monarchy, socialism, capitalism, or communism. But in reality, it's always a small group of cunning, scheming people who control the power and play the game.
Yeah. So
That's what it is.
we're back at so I was
So
so
if you
happy.
remember James Bond movies, the megalomaniac billionaire who wants to control the world is what the reality is.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. See, here the point is America exported democracy so that they could control other countries' resources. Other countries used American democracy to control American resources.
Right?
Today, America as a country is forced by Palestinians to give aid to them and equate them with Israel. Israel won't be happy, but let's see what happens now in future. Thank you all. So I
Thank
think
you all.
it
Thank
is
you
you.
very much.
So,
Take care.
take care.